What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce Addiction, and holy shit, I mean, talk about an entrance for a legendary weapon. So yes, finally the M4Lmg Salamander has officially made its way into Call of Duty Mobile. So this was a pretty highly anticipated skin for me because the M4Lmg Legendary has been around for, I guess, quite some time, but it never really actually got released. I guess they were looking for a proper theme for it, so it turns out, I guess the Salamander for, you know, the Reaper Ashura would be a good fit. And I won't lie, it's pretty much a very, very perfect fit. Another reason why I was really excited for this skin is because out of the LMGs that have been released so far and just throughout the history of this game, this was the only one that never got a legendary. It was kind of like in the same boat with the M16 assault rifle. I mean, even though that one still doesn't have a legendary yet, and that's like literally the last one, this one actually finally had its turn for a legendary skin. And you know, honestly, that's nice because now every LMG now has some sort of skin like this, or well, not specifically like this, but pretty much a legendary or a mythic overall. And what a way it was, because now that this skin's released, it's not really half bad at all. I actually really like this legendary skin. Of course there are a few flaws with it, well, really just one, and that's mainly the fact that the death effect is very, very terrible, especially for a legendary weapon. But everything else about this weapon is amazing. I will tell you that the Salamander does kind of borderline in between, or I guess it goes in between of legendary and mythic, and that's mainly because it does have some physical animations, and as well as a different reload speed. So the reason why I say this, besides just that, is because typically when we see a legendary weapon come out, we usually see energy waves or some electricity coursing around the weapon, and sometimes even smoke, but we never really see a lot of physical animations, you know, like if like a barrel is moving, or like the mag has like some sort of rotating feature or something like that. So this is one of those weapons that does, but only when you actually fire the weapon. So also, as I said before, it does have its own unique reload animation. So it's pretty much like any generic LMG, you know, you pop off the top, then you put like the new mag belt in, you know, just the basic type of LMG stuff. But it's nice, but it kind of looks weird at the same time, and that's mainly because it looks like you're just popping it out and just putting the belt back in. It's kind of weird. You don't even take the mag from the side, or you don't take the drum out. It's kind of weird, but I mean, it's still nice to have a different type of reload animation for this weapon. In terms of death effect, like I said, it's not the best. It just basically involves you shooting the guy, killing him, and they just turn into like this cloud of just electricity. And it's just not really that, you know, insane, nothing to be so like amazed about. If anything, it kind of feels like the magnetic engine for the Type 25, very, very similar. So now let's get to probably the most controversial part of the weapon, and that's the iron sight. So I know I say a lot that pay to win is not really a thing, but in this case it might actually be. And that's mainly because the iron sight kind of functions a little bit differently compared to the normal iron sight for the base M4Lmg. Like, it feels more zoomed out instead of, like, you know, being zoomed in, because that's how I feel when I use the base M4Lmg. It feels like it just zooms in a little bit too much. It's kind of like if you're looking into a tac scope or to a red dot sight or something like that. But in this case, it just doesn't feel that way. Oh, also one thing to note is that the green stuff around it used to be a lot more visible before. I mean, there was showcases of this weapon like a very long time ago, but I'm pretty sure they made it more transparent so it wouldn't be so obstructing if you were using the iron sight. So earlier I did say that this weapon did have one thing missing, or I guess two things, like I guess two flaws. One, I did say that of course the death effect wasn't really that great, but I also mentioned that there wasn't a kill counter with this weapon. Obviously that's mainly because it's part of a legendary character draw. I mean, the character is gonna have the kill counter, which I do have in this gameplay right here. So yeah, obviously kill counter doesn't really matter too much, but I will say that the shooting sound should be a little bit more different. I know the muzzle flash is pretty unique in its own way, but in terms of the shooting sound, it should have been a little bit more noticeable. You only really notice it if you're in the final kill cam, but other than that, it's not something that you're gonna hear that often. I mean, it sounds like the base M4Lmg. I forgot to mention that this is the first legendary primary that is in a legendary character draw. You know, typically we get, you know, secondary weapons for those types of legendary draws, but this is the first primary weapon that's ever been available for a legendary character, which is pretty nice as well. But yeah, anyways, let's actually talk about the attachments. So as for the attachments on the Salamander, the ones that come with the blueprint itself, it does have tactical scope, RTC steady stock, FMJ, OWC laser tactical, as well as strike foregrip. So none of them really have some sort of skin that goes along with it. That kind of sucks. I wish they'd done better on that. But for the class set that I have for you guys is the MIP Ultra Light Barrel, no stock, OWC laser tactical, the 40 round reload. It says 10 round light reload. I don't know why, but I'm sure they'll fix that later on, but don't worry, it's 40 bullets. And also the rubberized grip tape. So the weapon I have, it's more about speed and just a little bit of stability. I mean, the gun itself naturally is pretty good when it comes to like recoil control, so that's not really much to worry about. That's why I put so many speed attachments on it. So yeah, anyways, you know, now let's actually discuss whether or not this is worth picking up. So the first thing that you should keep in mind is that since this is a legendary character draw, and you know, the legendary skin or the gun skin is actually the second important thing, there is a more than likely chance that you're going to get this a lot earlier than you would expect. Some people have gotten the shorty legendary like within the first try, within 3 tries. You know, typically, like I said, when that does happen, your odds of getting the legendary gun skin is typically a lot higher than any normal legendary gun draw. So in my experience, I got this like around my 4th or 5th try, and just the rest I just finished because I want to talk about the character skin as well. But I'll do that in a later video. So as of right now, let's just you know, conclude with the M4 Salamander. So yeah, like I said, it's a pretty solid skin. I do recommend picking it up, especially since the odds are a lot higher than, you know, other draws. So yeah, anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe for some more COD Mobile Blueprint content, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.